Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video we are barefaced and I'm going to be doing a bit of a chit chat, get ready with me type video. I've been planning one of these for a very long time. So nothing new on this channel. I tend to overpromise and underdeliver because I'm a very busy girl and sometimes I just have all these ideas and thoughts running around in my head and I just do not have enough time to execute them. So this is one of them. So today I have a few like new bits and pieces in front of me here. I particularly want to use this palette. I purchased it like almost a month ago and I haven't even used it yet. And I also have like my NARS cream Laguna Bronzer that I want to show you guys because I think it's absolutely amazing and I want to show you guys how amazing it is. And then I also have, you know, Project Panty bits, all of that jazz. You know, I'm not quite sure whether I will specifically tell you what I'm using throughout the video or whether I will just be talking. It might be a bit of a mixture of all that. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump on into it and get on into this palette. Starting off with my Hourglass Veil Primer. So I'm filming this on the 3rd of July. This probably won't go up until like the 29th of July or something. But I have 7 days before my next update for my Partners in Cream. I'm hoping that I can get this done by then, but not quite sure whether that's going to happen. Then I'm going to set from crease to brow bone with my Inglot eyeshadow in 330, just because there is a pink in here. This color Cotton Candy, but I just think it's a little bit too pink for my brow bone. From this palette, I kind of really want to use the orange and the green. Sorry, the orange and the blue. Maybe I might do that. Snow Cone, Flip, Acrobat, and then Joker on the outer corner. I'm gonna go with that. I don't even know if I have any clean brushes to do that. I do really want to use the orange though, so maybe I might have to do another video. None of my brushes are clean as per usual because ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm just trying to get the majority of it off my brush with my little color switch. Let's go a little bit of Cotton Candy, the pink one. I'm just going to run that through my crease a little bit. I've been wanting to sit down and talk to you guys about, you know, just a little bit of a life update because lots has changed, and I kind of wanted to, not that I think you guys really need me to explain myself, but I kind of wanted to explain myself because I have been missing a lot of uploads lately, and I just wanted to let you guys know why that's happening and that it will probably be happening for the foreseeable future because you know, just time. There's not enough hours in the day. I do not have enough energy ever, and I kind of have decided of late to take the pressure off myself a little bit. If I can't do it, I can't do it, and I don't beat myself up about it. Usually when I like miss a YouTube upload, like I feel the worst in the world because I feel like I'm letting you guys down, which in a way I am, but at the same time it's my choice to do it. It's not my full-time job, and I can definitely afford to not do it. It is just purely like I do it because I love it. I do it because I get to play with makeup. I get to talk about makeup with you guys, and that's like what I enjoy the most, is being able to talk about makeup with people and enjoy like my hobby and have fun with just playing with makeup and talking to people that like makeup. That's basically why I do this. You know, I make barely any money off of YouTube. Like, to be honest, for a month I probably make maybe like $2 a day off YouTube. I sit at like maybe like $60 a month, which is barely anything considering like how much effort goes into a YouTube video For my Project Pan updates, generally between like half an hour to an hour of filming. That's not including getting ready. Like usually like an hour to 2 hours getting ready for one of those videos, and then maybe like 20 minutes of prep, because I always like to weigh my products, and collecting my products from, you know, my handbag and my bathroom and like all around my house like takes about 20 minutes. Writing down all of the weights, marking the products, taking photos of the products after I film. Generally it takes me, depending on how many products I have to take a photo of, anywhere from like maybe 10 minutes to half an hour. So, you know, a lot of, and that's not even including editing, like editing say like 2 hours of footage. Generally like a really, really rough and like thrown together video will maybe take me like 3 hours to edit, and that spits out say like 20 minutes worth of footage. A lot of effort goes into, and a lot of time goes into making YouTube videos for like very little monetary reward, and that's totally fine. I know that YouTube is not going to be a massive money earner for me, and it's not going to replace my day job income. And to be honest, I don't know if I want it to replace my day job income, because I enjoy my day job. And I don't really see myself being a full-time influencer. I mean, it'd be nice to have like the hobby pay for the makeup and stuff that I buy, but that it definitely does not, because I spend too much money on makeup. There have been times during my time on YouTube where I have kind of like forgone like a social life, and like I've turned down like invitations to things to edit and film and upload and like make sure I'm meeting like my commitment to my channel. And you know, I'm at that point in my life where I'm just kind of like, you know, if I do it, I do it. If I don't do it, I don't do it. So that's kind of why there's been less videos of late, because I have really taken the pressure off myself, and I'm really trying to focus on, I guess, my health in a way, and not expect so much of myself, and not beat myself up so much for not meeting these unrealistic expectations that I place on myself. All that being said, the most exciting piece of news is I do have a new job. However, the new job is more mentally draining, mentally demanding, time demanding. It's a lot more challenging. I am thoroughly enjoying it. However, if I don't get my YouTube stuff done on the weekend, it's very highly likely that I won't do it during the week, because I come home from work absolutely exhausted, because I am just like on all day. Like my brain is just in full function mode all day. Not to say that it wasn't like that beforehand, but I've gone from a very kind of like job where I can kind of zone out and just get in a routine and just like pump stuff out, to stuff that really requires a lot of like brain effort. So I get home absolutely exhausted, and generally if I haven't done stuff on the weekend for YouTube, I don't do it during the week, because I get home from work and I just want to like chill on the couch. I just want to enjoy my time with like my husband and my dogs, and not really want to worry about stressing about getting videos done and meeting deadlines. Yes, something had to give, and YouTube was the most realistic thing to give, and unfortunately it had to happen. So I will definitely, I'm not stopping YouTube at all, even though I have thought about it a few times. I'm not stopping it, because I feel like, you know, I feel a little bit lost without it. And I do thoroughly enjoy communicating with you guys, and I thoroughly enjoy, you know, doing stuff like this where I am sitting down and actually doing makeup and showing you guys how to do makeup and stuff like that. Like that's what I really, really enjoy. sometimes I'm just too tired for it, and I get to the point where like I am just so physically and mentally exhausted that I just need to like take a break. And you know, if you see that I haven't uploaded for a couple of days, or you know, stuff like that, haven't seen me for a couple of days, it's probably just sheerly the fact that work is really busy and demanding, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance to do anything. Like, don't stress, I'm okay, it's just life. Work and life taking over, which is going to happen. I wanted to kind of let you guys know that everything's fine. There have been a few things pop up here and there, which, you know, I'll talk about in a minute, that were unexpected, but the main thing that has been stopping me from keeping my commitment to uploading has been the new job. Don't think I've blended this very well. Too much gas bagging, not enough blending. My previous workplace was just not serving me anymore. It wasn't challenging me anymore. I hated going to work every day. This was all like really much in like the middle of COVID as well, that I was starting to kind of hit rock bottom in terms of my previous workplace. It was starting to get really toxic during like those lockdown periods, and I applied for a higher position at my previous workplace and I didn't get it, but it was just a real kick up the butt for me and a really big sign to show that it was time for me to move on and time for me to take a step in whichever direction I wanted to go. Yeah, so like I said, my last workplace was getting really toxic and was not doing me well. I feel like I was kind of spiraling down into a little bit of like a depression. I did not want to go to work every day. Like, I dreaded going to work every day. I was just hating it. And you know, I got to the point where I was like, this place is not going to change at all, and it's not doing me any favors. I loved like the people that I worked with, but you know, I just got to the point where I was like, it's not going to change, so maybe I need to be the change. Maybe I need to make the change for myself. I also managed to find myself some levels of, I don't even know what the right word is. You know, I found ways to help manage my own like mental stuff. Like, COVID definitely kicked me in the butt. It really tested me and pushed me to my brink of like, you know, all the coping mechanisms and strategies that I had like implemented to help me manage my stress were not working anymore. Really pushed me to like the brink. And I think it did the same thing to a lot of people. Like, it was probably the worst time for a little while, but it also is the best, well, the best learning, I guess, learning opportunity, because it really encouraged me to go get some help, which is really, I don't know, I've spoken about this a little bit before on live streams and stuff. Like, the Australian culture is very much like, you know, suck it up, move it on, like, you'll be right, don't cry, don't show emotions. But I think that COVID really helped me show my vulnerable side, and I think that there are people in my life that really appreciated that, because I helped encourage them to get help as well by telling people that I was struggling and telling them that it was okay for them to get help because I got help. So basically I'm saying I found myself a psychologist and started talking to them about, you know, coping strategies and all of that, because yeah, like I said, COVID really knocked me around a bit. Yeah, it really pushed me to the point, and like really highlighted to me that, you know, some of the strategies that I had in place were not, I guess, the best, and when it got to the point where everything else was falling down, they were also failing as well. So that definitely helped, and I have also found myself a little bit of a routine. I really try and focus on being a little bit more healthy in terms of exercise. I have never been one to enjoy exercise, and I still don't really enjoy exercise. I really find it a bit of a chore, But I have really tried to switch my brain into gear. I've really tried to get myself into a routine of trying to consistently exercise between like 2 to 4 times a week. Just at least something, or really trying to focus on getting my like steps up for most of the week. I do have a fairly like sedentary job. Like I sit on my ass like all day long, which really doesn't help like my overall health and well-being, but I do try and get my steps up, and you know, for most of the week try and be fairly healthy and fairly active. Sometimes tiredness does take over, but on the most part I try and exercise at least twice a week, which I know is not enough, but generally it'll be 3 to 4 times a week. And I've really tried to focus over the last couple of months to like reprogram my brain to take exercise as a benefit. And I know like that's kind of always how my brain has worked, but for me exercise has always been very like weight orientated and looks orientated and like body image orientated, whereas lately I have really tried to flip the switch and tried to flip the narrative in my head and reprogram my brain to think that fitness helps mental health. And when I am not exercising, when I do stop, that's when the spiral starts to happen, and I just start to like get really negative about everything and don't want to do anything and turn into like a mopey sad sack. So at the end of the day, if you exercise and you're healthy, you're more than likely going to get like a better body image, like physically. But more for me, mentally, I think mentally it helps me so much more than it does like body image physically. The physical body image change is just the added bonus at the end, and it's the added bonus that, you know, makes it a little bit easier to look in the mirror and makes it a little bit easier when buying clothes, and makes it a little bit easier when, you know, just thinking about your general body image. But overall, for me, the massive benefit that I have been finding for exercising, the massive like gain from that is better like mental clarity, better mental well-being, not so negative all the time, and just like overall generally more happy. What else has been happening? We've been having issues with doggos. Seems like never-ending issues of late. So I missed a live stream a couple of weeks ago. It was like very random and out of the blue. So my parents were visiting with their dog, and their dog actually got ran over. So I had to do an emergency trip with my mum and her dog to Brisbane to take the dog to the like rescue hospital down, well, not the rescue hospital, there's like a big hospital down in Brisbane that does like pins and plates in hips and legs, because he fractured his pelvis I think in 2 places and broke one of his legs, so he had to get some pins in his pelvis and pins in his leg, and he had to stay down there for a couple of days. So my mum like rang me in a panic. It was like just before I was about to go live streaming, or I was planning on doing a live stream that afternoon. So I hadn't done my thumbnail yet, and yes, my mum rang me like frantic, was like, can you please drive me to Brisbane with the doggo so I can drop him off at the hospital. And lucky I did go with her, because she ended up having to like cradle him in her arms like the whole way while I drove, and basically like every like speed bump we went over he would like start yelping and wincing from pain. Like he was doped up on medication, but he could still feel it, like when I went over a speed bump, which was heartbreaking. She ended up picking him up, and during recovery, I think he fractured his leg again, or he made it worse. So he had to go in for surgery again. While he was actually at the hospital in Brisbane, he had to go into surgery, I think twice. They did it once, looked at the job the next day, and they weren't happy with it. So they went back in again the next day to like fix what they basically fucked up. So the poor little bugger had to go into surgery twice in 2 days. And then during his recovery, he injured himself again, and he's just a Pomeranian as well. I have 2 Poms. She has a Pom. He's a Pomeranian as well. So their bones are like super fine and super small. So he hurt himself because he is like a really kind of like high energy dog, and he jumps a lot and jumps up on things that he shouldn't and whatnot. He has a lot of energy for a small dog. So he hurt his leg again. So he had to go back to the hospital for further operation. This time it was at a different hospital because my parents they're not from around here. They're normally from up north. So they took him to the vet they normally go to, and I think he's been in the vet for almost a fortnight now. My mum decided to let him like stay at her normal vet while he recovers, to try and like keep him calm, like keep him away from mum and dad, because basically like every day my mum gets home from work, he like freaks out and like gets all excited because his mum's home, like acts like a crazy dog. I think he's doing well so far, but he's gonna be like confined to like not a cage but like small areas for a couple of months while he recovers. And he still has 2 pins in his hips and like plates in his hips, and yeah, the poor little doggo. And then my dog, oh my gosh, my little dog, so I have 2 Pomeranians. They're both quite small. One of my dogs, which is why I didn't have any video up at the end of this week, my dog had to be in the vet twice this week because he had a little pancreatitis attack. So he just seems to every now and then have a reaction to like really fatty food, and it's quite common for small dogs because they just can't process fatty food like bigger dogs can. So yes, we took him in. He had a very, very sore stomach. Took him in, the vet gave him a feel over and said, yeah, he's got a very upset stomach. Gave him some medication and sent him home and said, if he's not doing well tomorrow, bring him back in. And he wasn't doing well the next day. So we had to take him back in, and then he stayed overnight for like some fluids and monitoring. My dogs, I love them to death, but golly gosh, they worry me. So yeah, he's home now, he's fine. He's just going to probably be on a very plain diet, like just like chicken and probably really plain bits and like nothing overly fatty, which breaks my heart because he loves bones. He loves chewing on bones, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore, unfortunately, because his little body can't handle it. This that I'm just putting on now is the Laguna Bronzer, and I don't know whether you can see, but I freaking love the color of this. Really love it. So I've got both of my M Cosmetics Serum Blushes here. I think I'm gonna do like a drop of each and mix them. I normally like apply with one finger and then dab out with the other, just so it's not so like intense. This is just the Fenty, I think this is the Pro Filter Powder. I think I am going to add just a touch more highlights. I'm just using my Nabla. This is the Ozone highlighter. I'm gonna chuck the orange under my eye. just because I really want to use it. So I'm going to do a little bit of the pink, like wrap it under my eye. And then I'm going to do the, if I can find a clean brush that I can do this with. Then I'm going to do the orange, the matte orange, and then I'm going to pop Fun Tommy, no, Snow Cone on the inner corner, because I thought Snow Cone was a silver, but turns out it's like a bluey silver. Okay, I just remembered that I asked you guys ages ago for questions for a Q&A that I was planning on doing ages ago. The first being, have your makeup tastes changed over the year? And if so, what are your thoughts? So I do feel like my makeup tastes have changed somewhat over the last year. I am back loving neutrals again, and like dying over like really beautiful neutral palettes. I'm back into like enjoying playing with color, like just no kind of pressure. And I also am loving cream products. Oh my gosh, I never thought this day would come that I would love cream products, but I have been really enjoying cream products lately, particularly mostly cream bronzers. I use like a cream bronzer basically like every day now. Love cream bronzer to death. I just am finding that it's really nice and natural, and I can blend it out and not make it look so harsh. Cream blushes are kind of like, I'm on the fence. I love cream blushes if they're the right formula. Like for example, these M Cosmetics serum blushes, I just feel like they make my skin look really like naturally youthful. They give you like a really nice glow, add like a subtle color to your skin, make your skin look really healthy. There are some cream blushes that I've tried, like the Fenty ones, I didn't really get on with, especially because I do have that oily skin. I find sometimes like I'm wearing like a heavier foundation quite often, that doesn't break down throughout the day. So quite often some cream blushes can upset the base, depending on what you use to apply. Highlighters, I'm still on the fence. Like I do really enjoy this one from Mecca. That's about the only one I've found. I am really enjoying like the gelée type formulas in highlighters and blushes. So like the Nabla formula, these skin glazings, they're like a gelée formula. I love having like fuller brows. I've started like getting my eyebrows laminated every now and then. Really enjoying fuller brows. I don't really use primers anymore. I find primers have been like the biggest scam for me. They're not a total scam, but I just find them like a waste of time and a waste of money. So I don't really wear primers all that much anymore. I still use them because I have a lot of like samples and stuff in my collection and a bit of a backlog. So for example, like the strobe cream, I'm still using that. This is more like a highlighting illuminating base. I do really like using these when the like weather permits and when the base permits. My last question was, now that you have your makeup artist qualifications, are you planning to freelance in the industry, or was it more for personal use and your YouTube channel? Do you have goals for your channel growth in 2021? So I think I've kind of touched on the goals for my channel in 2021. I kind of want to just like take the pressure off a little bit. I've always been in this very like, you know, got to get that goal, like that number kind of mindset. And at the moment, I'm just kind of like enjoying the ride. I don't want to stress myself out too much. As much as I get envious and I like, not that I hate seeing people grow, but I get a little bit envious and I get a little bit like resentful of seeing like these people just like blow up randomly when I've been like grinding away here for a long time. But that's fine. Like I've always kind of had this as just like a side hobby, and like I always kind of knew that it wasn't going to be something that would be a full-time career. I knew that it was always going to be something as like extra cash or like just an extra thing to do, and just like an extra way to make connections with people. And I did kind of go into it a little bit with the mindset of kind of like this being almost a bit of like a portfolio for me, so a place that people could see what I'm about and what I'm good at and what I can do with my skills. In terms of what I was planning on doing with my makeup qualification, so I do have a diploma in makeup artistry. I received that last year. I don't know, at the end of the year and around the time that I was planning on, or that I was going to be graduating, I was like very much in the mindset of like, I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna really pursue this. And then this other job popped up, and it kind of like threw kind of like a cog in the, what's the saying? I can't remember the saying off the top of my head, but it just kind of threw the plan out of whack a little bit, and that's totally fine. I think I prefer to do it the way I'm doing it, keeping a professional job, using my makeup as like the hobby. So the YouTube channel will probably continue to just plot away, just being as like a creative outlet. I think I would still like to do like some freelancing just on the side, maybe even just doing some photo shoots here and there. I do feel like I've lost my confidence a little bit when it comes to applying makeup on other people, so I would like to get that confidence back, get a little bit more practice going, have something I guess a little bit more professionally set up, so I can just kind of put it out there that I want somebody to come in and practice on, and then I can just have them turn up and it be done. Whereas what I've got set up at the moment, I just don't really feel comfortable having people in my space. So yeah, that's that. And I really enjoy doing people's makeup. I really enjoy seeing people transform and seeing how me painting their face can just give them like a little air of confidence. Like they kind of like sit up a little bit straighter, their smile is a little bit bigger, and how it really changes their confidence and how they see themselves in the mirror. So I have always loved that aspect of makeup. So I think that's something that I would definitely still like to do, just dabble in a little bit, but I don't think that it will be my full-time career. At this point in time, it's not, the full-time career in the makeup is not on the cards, but I do still very much love it. I do still very much love doing it on other people. But I think it's just going to be like the creative bit on the side. Like it's just going to be that extra thing that I can do and that I enjoy doing. In saying that though, I think I would still really much like to expand my skills in that area. So I would really like to get some waxing training, specifically facial waxing. I would really like to learn how to do brows more in a professional setting, and then if time and money permits, I would really much like to do a course on microblading and micro shading and combo brows. I think that that's something I would really much like to do as well. This lip that I'm wearing is the Kaleidos Cactus Flower. So yeah, that's my plan, not so plan with my makeup qualifications. I've always been someone that's very like split. Like I've never really been somebody that's been totally academic or totally creative. I've always been somebody that needs both, and I thrive better when I have both. When it's just one or the other, I get like kind of stuck in a rut. I always need like them both to balance each other out. So the creative, like I love that I can come home and on my weekends do shit like this and it totally gets my mind out of the academic side of things. But then when I'm like in a creative rut and I'm like, oh, I can't think of anything to do with, like I look at this palette and I'm like, what the hell do I do with this shit? I love that I have like the academic side to get myself totally away from the creative stuff. When I'm just solely doing creative, I get to the point where I just am like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm totally lost. I'm stuck in a rut. I have like just burned my creative juices. But when they're both there, it levels out really well. Let me just unclip my hair. I did curl my hair before we started. I was just kind of letting it set. This piece, as always, gives me the shits to no end. I have not worn a bright lip in, I feel like, years, so I feel very out of sorts. Definitely doesn't go with my like forest green camo jumper, but I don't give a toss. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't even know whether I'm going to post this. If I do post this, give me a thumbs up. While you're down there, if you do want to see more chatty get ready with me videos, leave some suggestions for some topics down in the comments box. While you're down there, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you did enjoy this video. You can also join my membership for extra perks and upload this video if you liked it. That's it for this video, beautiful. I hope that you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you are staying safe and healthy and looking after yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.